Hi students. Our next topic in depth investigation is assessment of crime scene. So the analysis of crime scene and subsequent collection of physical evidence requires skill, knowledge and aptitude. The manner in which a crime scene was studied would have an important and sometimes crucial bearing on the eventual success of the investigation. And a systematic approach is very necessary to ensure the coordination between the crime scene officers and the investigating officers, and thorough and effective crime scene analysis, orderly collection of evidence, and correct interpretation and deductions. So the most important thing in that is assessment of crime scene. Every attempt must be made to answer the following questions during the course of crime scene investigation. So we can say like 6 W's. The investigating officer, should keep in mind these questions while going to the crime scene and while assessing the crime scene. So these are the questions like why, where, who, what, how, and when. So these 6 questions the investigating officer should keep in mind while assessing the crime scene. Let's check what are they one by one. So the investigating officer should keep in mind who is the victim and who reported the crime, who saw or heard anything. So first of all, the investigating officer, he has to find out who is the victim of the crime, and anybody is there like uh, lying there, whether the victim is alive or dead, whether he is more injured, is there any, like, who is that person, like that, and who reported the crime. Anyway, he will get a first information from a caller, or like somebody informed the police officer regarding this crime. So who is that person, how he came, like, that question should be there: who reported the crime and how he came there, and who saw or heard anything, is there any witness. So the, he has to find out who is the victim, who reported the crime, who saw or heard anything. So the person who informed the crime, the witness, and the victim. These three things he should think first. Then what? So what happened? What is the nature of the crime? And what were the actions of the victim? What do the witness say? What clothing and personal properties are present on the deceased? What injuries or marks are present on the body? What is the time of death? What are the types of weapon used? What could be the cause and manner of death? So all these questions he should try to solve. So what happened? First of all, he came to the crime scene and he saw a victim lying there. Maybe he is dead or maybe he is alive. So he should think what happened to that person, what happened here in the scene, and what is the nature of crime, whether it is murder or whether it is a sexual assault or whether it is a robbery. What is the nature of crime and how serious it is, and what were the actions of the victim, and if a witness is there, what is witness saying and regarding this crime scene, whether he is able to answer some questions like regarding this crime scene, and what clothing and personal property are present on the deceased, whether, like, any personal property is there, like gold and all kind of things, purse, or inside the id card is present or not. So from that they can identify the victim and victim's address, their contact address they will get. So these kind of things they have to check, and what injuries or marks are present on the body, and what is the time of death, and what are the types of weapon used, whether it is a sharp weapon, whether it is a blunt weapon, whether it is gunshot, or like that they have to find out, and when this death occurred, or when this what is the time of death, and what could be the cause and manner of death. So he has to find out the answers for all these questions. Next is when. So when was the body discovered, the time of the body discovered, and when was the victim last seen alive. So if somebody like he got an ID card from his purse and he contacted the person, and he can ask whether when he saw, when he was uh, last seen, and when was the crime reported. So the investigating officer will get a time, well, call or information. So what is the time, when was that crime reported. So all these questions he has to note down. And next one is how. So how did the victim sustain the injuries, or how much time has passed between injury and death. So this how question also he should keep in mind, and he has to try to find out the answer for this. And where is the body located, where did the death occur, where was the victim last seen, and where did the injuries occur, where were the witness during the incident. So he has to find out all these where questions, like where was the body, where did the death occur, whether it is in the same place or whether somewhere else, and how the body, like if it is in somewhere place, he has to find out why the body is here in this place. So these kind of questions he has to find out. And where was the victim last seen, where he was, and how he came here, and where did the injuries occur, and where were the witness during the incident. Then why was victim at this location? Whether he came alone or whether somebody called this victim, or why the person is here, and why was the crime committed? What is the reason of the crime committed? And why was this type of weapon used? Why they used this blunt weapon, or why they used this sharp weapon? They used surgical weapon? Why they used a simple blade? So these kind of things they have to answer. And why was the disease found at the particular time? So why it may be a girl, maybe a sexual assault case, and at maybe midnight that occurred, and they are getting a call. So they will think that why the victim is here, why this girl is here at this time, and whether she came alone or whether somebody kidnapped her. So these kind of questions they have to keep in mind when asking the while assessing the crime scene. So these are the things investigating officer to keep in mind, whether while investigating the crime scene. And these are the six questions, like who, why, what, when, how, where. So if the investigating officer is able to answer the all questions, all these w's, he can fully he will get all the information regarding the crime happened. So the investigating officer must keep in mind while assessing all these points, and he should find out the answers for the all these questions. So this is about the assessment of a crime scene. And next we will see what is the if in a, while assessing the crime scene, anyway the victim will be there. So the investigating officer should call a doctor for confirming whether the victim is alive or not, whether he's alive or not, and if any injuries are there, if he's alive, immediately they have to shift that person to in hospital, and they have to give him first aid. So these kind of things. So first what they have to do, they have to call a medical professional. So what is the conduct and duties of the doctor at the scene of crime? So while scene spelling is not correct, okay, then they have to call the doctor. And what are the duties and responsibilities of the doctor while assessing the scene of crime? So when the investigating officer is calling and calling doctor, the doctor should carry with him a hand lens, a measuring tape and ruler, gloves, slides, swabs, chemical thermometer, envelopes, and all such kind of necessary items for the investigation purpose. So he has to examine the victim, whether alive or whether dead. He has to examine the victim on the spot of the crime scene only. So for examination purpose, what all things he need, he has to carry all such kind of things with him. And doctor must ensure that death has occurred. So why before after coming to the crime scene, the doctor, what he has to do, he has to make sure that the death has occurred, and if the victim is victim of an assault is living, if the victim is alive, when first seen, the doctor must do everything to save the life of the person. So if he is not dead, what he has to do, he has to uh, like confirm whether he is dead or not. And if he's alive, what he the doctor has to do is that he has to try his maximum for like he has to make sure that he will succeed. Then he has to do everything to save the life of that person. And the priority must be given to the injured persons. If a mass disaster or something like that, if the injured persons are there and still struggling for their life, they have to take them immediately to the hospital, and they have to give all the first aids. If in scene of crime or not scene of crime, they, if possible, they have to give all kind of first aids, and immediately shift them to the hospital, and to any action designed to prevent further casualties. So they have to prevent further casualties, and immediately they have to shift them to the hospitals. And if the death is about to occur, he should obtain a dying declaration. And maybe the doctor will think that he will not survive. So that time, what he has to do is that he has to obtain a dying declaration. So they can ask what happened there, and why you are here, and who did this to you. So these kind of questions then asked, and they can obtain a dying declaration. So you know what is dying declaration. So the doctor can obtain at the scene of crime only the dying declaration of the person, if he is about to die. And if the suspect's foul play, the police should be informed. And if the doctor is suspecting, if he is suspecting any foul play, he can he can inform the police immediately. Like if any if they are thinking like this is a suicide case, police or investigator will think that okay, he tried to commit suicide. But after coming after the doctor came, and he examined the body, and he can see some injuries and all on the victim's body, and he will think that this is not a suicide, maybe this is a homicide. And they for the for their criminals, for escaping, what they did, they made it as a suicide case. So if like that, if any foul play they are he is suspecting, he can inform the police immediately. And he should retain any material which is relevant. So any physical evidences they will get from the scene of crime, from the body of the victim. So he has to retain all such kind of relevant information. For example, in case of suspected poisoning, he must look for and retain any specimens such as vomit, leftover poisons, or drinking utensils. So, in a poisoning case, the doctor has to collect all such kind of things for further examination. Then he should not give opinions without proper thought. He has to examine the victim's body carefully, and then only he should give the proper opinion about the crime. And he should make adequate notes which should include date, time, address, or location, the name and sex of the deceased, a list of all persons present there, and general observation about the scene, and temperature of the surroundings and rectal temperature of the deceased should be taken. And make a sketch note in such points of importance as direction, position of the blood on the body and at the scene, position of the body and weapons. So he has to take all these notes while assessing the crime scene. And describe the clothing, and note any tears, cuts, missing buttons, etc. are there. And make note of injuries on the body of the victim, and record them on body diagrams. And the position and appearance of the body, and if the person is dead, rigor mortis, post-mortem lividity, etc., which assist in estimating the time of death. So the doctor has to note down all these kind of things. If there are any bite marks, they should be swabbed with a cotton wool swab moistened with saline. Then, if the weapon is not found at the crime scene, advise the police about the type of weapon that is likely to be have used. So by examining the injury present on the body of the victim, the doctor can say which weapon used. For example, if it is a incised wound present on the victim's body, the weapon used must be a sharp weapon. So like that he can find out the weapon used, and he can inform the police officer that it is an incised wound, so this weapon used is a sharp weapon. So like that, then transfer the body to the mortuary wrapped in a large sheet of plastic or other clean cloth. And if the person is dead, they have to transfer the body immediately to the mortuary. Then body lifting and moving. The dead body should be carefully lifted and placed onto a bed sheet, length of plastic or body bag, and wrapped for transport. And with heavy bodies, decomposed or fragile remains, the body should be rolled onto its side and the plastic stuck underneath the body. And in case of suicide by firearms, paper bags are placed securely over the hands. Then photographs should be taken. So likewise, like any other crime scene investigation, the photograph doctor should take the photograph of the body, and photograph should include general relations of the scene of body to its surroundings. So the he should take the body with the surroundings, and each and every injury in close up with a measurement scale, and then special relationship between the deceased and the weapon or blood stains, etc. Then means of possible entrance to and exit from the scene, then position and posture of the victim. So all these photographs, wide angle, close-ups, mid-range, all these things they have to take, but they have to label the body and label the injury, and using a measuring scale, keep a measuring scale while taking the photographs. And take a scaled photograph of the scene. A scaled photograph should be taken with suitable markers of small objects such as fired cartridge case, the blood spatters, and bullet holes in walls, etc. The dead body should be photographed from different angles. Photographs of all injuries, major and minor, are essential. And a ruler and a case number or other identifying information must be present in the photograph of the injury. And close-up photograph should be taken so that injury should fill most of the picture area. So as I said earlier, they have to use a ruler and they have to label all the injuries, all the marks, everything mm, in the photographs, and the injuries must be taken in close-up photograph with a scale. And disadvantages of the doctor not visiting the scene. When a body is transferred to mortuary, fresh abrasions may produced on it during transit. So if the doctor is not present at the crime scene, he couldn't analyze the victim's body, and he will get to examine the body only when he is doing autopsy. So that time, while transferring this body from the crime scene to the mortuary, again some abrasions or again some injuries can happen. So he will think that this occurred at the time of death, or these injuries happened because of the struggle or something like that. So what he has to do, he has to first see the victim's body with that injuries and all in the crime scene only. So when transferring the body also, he can identify that okay, this is a fresh injury that happened while transferring. So this injury was not before, so this happened earlier. So he can note that down in the autopsy report also. Then clothing will be disarranged, blood stains will form on parts of clothes originally free from them, and fresh tears in clothes may be produced from rough handling. So when the investigating officer handle the while handling the body, there may be some uh, tearing of cloth, or other dust particles or some kind of stains can occur in the body. So what they have to do, they have to when the doctor is present in the crime scene, he can find out that also. Then existing rigor mortis may be broken at least partially. First of all, first when the in the crime scene, rigor mortis will happen after the immediate death of the person. But when the body is transferred to the mortuary, maybe the rigor mortis may be broken. So what he has to, like, he couldn't analyze what the things happened properly. So he saw the first only the body with rigor mortis. He can say, okay, there was rigor mortis at this time, and it has broken being time. So these all kind of things he can identify if he is in the crime scene. So if he is not in the crime scene, these things he will miss to note out, and in the autopsy report maybe some wrong information he will write. So this is the code and conduct the doctor should follow at the scene of crime, and for identify for and for giving rendering medical assistance to the victim if he is alive. These all kind of things a doctor has to take care. So this is about assessment of crime scene and code of conduct of a doctor in the crime scene. I hope you understood. If you have any doubts, you can ask. So thank you.